Well, yes, to the world, because basically I am on a world tour now, putting things in perspective, the way I see it, the way the evidence point. And so, let me say this personally. My name is Nari. Nari Plummer, my name. Right? And from I was a boy, from I was a child, I was always one that was always questioning things, observing things around me, And so, even until this day, I see myself questioning things. And when I look, I see two things that really rule the world, rule human beings, is religion and politics. And more so, religion is the ultimate ruler of mankind. Now, the question I really want to ask, is how did we come about this religion? Because every religion claims that it is a God thing, and God really set it, and God spoke to his people and gave his people command. And so we even end up with religious literature like the Bible and others, the Quran. Well, not even the Quran so much, more so the Bible, because we hear that the Bible is the word of God, and every word in the Bible is the word of God and is of God, a God word. But then I question that God word thing, because evidentially there is no evidence, not one iota evidence to claim that the Bible is the word of God. And so I will say that the Bible is not the word of God. But I will say, based upon the evidence, that the Bible is the word of man, because man wrote the Bible. We also hear the talk about, they say, inspired men, that these men were inspired by God. And when you look at the type of people that were inspired by God, is one set of people. So then right through and through, no other race of people or ethnicity of people were inspired by God. There's only one set of people. I don't understand that. So then it leads me to question, and honestly, I going to use even the Bible, because the Bible is a good book. I don't see the Bible as a bad book, but I don't see the Bible befitting the word of God, because in my opinion, God didn't write the Bible, And that God didn't sanction no man to write the Bible. Because when you look at the whole thing, writing and all those things didn't come about on the basis of God, because the Bible clearly shows you that the devil undermined God's plan. So therefore, if the devil undermined God's plan, and because of the undermining of God's plan, meaning God's plan was torpedoed by the devil. You understand what I mean? So if the devil torpedoed God's plan, right, and created his plan, because when he torpedoed God's plan, he just didn't just do it like that to say, oh, I'm just being mischievous. The devil wasn't just being mischievous, because he did it in heaven according to the Bible, and I'm going according to the Bible. And he was cast out of heaven. And lo and behold, God came down, created earth, made man, and what the devil did, according to the Bible. And clearly you can definitely see that the explanation that the Bible give you, or those men, the inspired men, did not give you the real explanation as to what took place, but they just told you a story. So when you look deep within that story, you will realize what that story is actually showing you. And now we come back to the point, and I said, why did the devil do that? Why did the devil aborted God's plan, or undermine God's plan, change up God cause God to abort his plan? Why did the devil do that? Was the devil just being mischievous? Was he just being mischievous while he was in heaven? And when he tried to overthrow God in heaven, according to the Bible, I am not making up anything. I am going according to what these inspired men spoke and claimed that it is the word of God. So, I am looking at the whole thing now and say, if this is the word of God, then clearly it is not adding up. The word of God is not adding up. And if God is a righteous God, according to the Bible, and God is a perfect God, and God cannot make mistake, has never made a mistake, and knows all things, and do it all things, anything God make, according to the Bible, is well planned out and is correct. But when you read the Bible, that's not the impression you get. You get the impression that a lot of mistakes have been made. Now, can God make mistake? Well, if you ask a Christian, they will say God can't make mistake. He's the omnipotent, the omni this, the omni that. You know? And it's funny. It's funny because in the Bible, it will tell you about God and the perfection of God, and it will tell you who God is. And he will say, oh, God is a loving God. He's a forgiving God. And then another part will tell you that God has never changed. God never changed. He is a God from the beginning to the end. And it said to you again that God loved man so much that he gave man his free will. But then again, the Bible, the same Bible that tells you that, is coming back to tell you that you're not supposed to question God. Then if God gave you free will, give you a brain, that man only use 10% of his brain, and is not the average man using 10% of his brain. Is the geniuses using 10% of them brain. Some people don't use more than 2%, 1%, 0.5% of them brain. So why them do it at 99.5? That is untapped. There is also another part in the Bible where it said that God made man so that he can dwell in man. Man was made to be the temple of God. But then the Bible also show you that process was aborted. Aborted by who? The same devil. Why did the devil do that? Was the devil just being mischievous, or the devil relentlessly is trying to overthrow God because him, the devil, want to be God himself? Then if the devil keep on overthrowing God and do what the things that God has done, and to the extent that, according to the same Bible, God made man to live forever. But man sinned against God. Man sinned against God. You know what I'm saying? And God just said to man, you sin against me, you will have to suffer the consequence. But I love you same way. I am the same God yesterday, the same God to the same God forever. But when you look in the Bible now, are you saying, my God, but if God has never changed, why do we see so much changes taking place under the name God? We see a good God, we see a wicked God, we see a jealous God, and on the other hand, God is saying to you that you mustn't be jealous. Jealousy is a sin. And then God come back and tell us that him is a jealous God. Well, anyway, that is just a part one of my explanation. And I will continue on this process. So I'll look back at it and see exactly what is happening. So I stop you.